Hi, and welcome to part 2 of Sherlock Holmes graphic novel with me, Mr. Singh, and Baby Singh. Baby Singh, what do you think is going to happen in the second part of this story? No idea, because you're only 3 weeks old. Fair enough. Let's read on and see what happens.
Holmes requested my assistance for this unusual case. Of course, I agreed to help, excited at the prospect of yet another adventure with him. Holmes asked me to return to his apartment the next day at 3 o'clock. I returned to the Baker Street lodging promptly at 3, but Holmes was not there. Unsure of his whereabouts, I decided to wait. At about 4 o'clock, I heard someone stumbling on the steps. Holmes was in disguise. I had to look 3 times before I was certain it was he. Holmes went into his bedroom. He came out looking more like himself. "Watson, you'll never imagine what I have been doing this afternoon. It's probable that you were spying on Miss Adler's house." "Quite correct, but the result was most uncommon. Let me tell you. She sings at concerts. She has a voice like a songbird. That Miss Adler has all our hearts. She is the daintiest thing under a bonnet on this planet. She drives out each day at 5 and returns exactly at 7. She only has one visitor, Mr. Godfrey Norton. He's an attorney who calls twice a day. We don't know if he's her attorney, beau, or friend. So lawyer, boyfriend, or friend. As I was finishing examining the house, a hansom cab pulled up. A man signalled for the driver to wait and rushed inside the house. Through the window, I watched the man walk back and forth excitedly, waving his hands. Snap! Drive like the devil to the church of St. Monica on Edgware Road. I have to be there in 20 minutes sharp. I was wondering what I should do just as a fancy little carriage drove up. Miss Adler shot out of the house. Clip-clop, clip-clop, clip-clop. As she stepped into the carriage, I saw her face. It was one a man might die for. Holmes's last sentence and excited voice were certainly unexpected. Never before had his cool-headed reasoning allowed him to comment on a woman's charms. From this I deduced that Irene Adler must indeed be an exceptional lady. Holmes continued telling his story at a rapid pace. There she is. The Church of St. Monica, and half a sovereign if you arrive in 20 minutes. I quickly jumped into a passing cab to follow the couple. The Church of St. Monica, and half a sovereign if you arrive in 20 minutes. Church of St. Monica, 3:30 p.m. Thank heavens you are just in time to be a witness and make this marriage legal. Before I knew it, I was serving as a witness for their marriage. After they were married, they thanked me, and the lonely bride gave me a sovereign. This is unusual. What happened next? At this point, I was concerned that they might leave the country and that the photograph would remain missing. But as the new bride parted from her husband, she told him that she would drive out into the park at 5 as usual. Watson, I have a plan, and I will need your help. There will be some unpleasantness, but do not join in or try to stop it. It will end with my being carried into her house. You may rely on me, Holmes. A few minutes later, the sitting room window will open. You are to be close to that window watching me. I will be visible. When I raise my hand, you are to throw this plumber's smoke rocket into the room. yell fire! Then go to the street corner and wait for me. Holmes went into his bedroom and soon returned looking like a gentle, simple-minded country clergyman. A broadcloth hat, baggy trousers, white tie, and worn black coat had transformed the Holmes I knew. He peered at me through small wire spectacles and piously folded his hands. I had to laugh. The stage had lost a fine actor when Holmes turned his talents to solving crime. It was time to make our way to the lady's house. There he is, dressed as a clergyman, hands behind his back. Now, Watson, where do you expect she has hidden the photo? It's too large for her to carry with her. She could not have given it to her banker. She could have given it to her banker, but I think not. She is determined to use it in a few days. It must be in her house. But the home has been burglarized twice. Ah, that they did not know where to look. I'm going to have the woman show me where it is. But how, Holmes? She will refuse. She may not be able to, Watson. We shall see. Just then, a carriage approached the lodge. As the carriage slowed, several guardsmen rushed to open the door for the woman inside, in hopes of earning a coin or two. I watched as one shoved another. A fierce quarrel broke out. In an instant, the lady was in the midst of a group of angry men. Holmes dashed forward to protect the lady. Bang! Whack! Thump! Just as he reached her, Holmes gave a cry and fell to the ground with blood flowing freely from his face. Ah! He's badly injured. We can't leave him lying in the street. May we bring him into your house? Yes. Please bring him into the sitting room. You may lay him on the sofa. From my place at the window, I saw Holmes rise from the sofa and give the signal. Zwoosh! Fire! Inside, people were rushing around until the maid found the bomb and yelled, "False alarm!" I slipped away to the street corner, where I was soon joined by the disguised Holmes. We walked swiftly down Serpentine Avenue without talking until we reached the quieter streets of Edgware Road. I was dying to know if he had discovered the photograph. We're going to end it there. Part 3 will come up next week. Has he discovered the photograph? Will he solve the case? Let's find out on Monday.